Hi, I'm Hopeville Payne, and this is my ACT story.
My name is Ashley Yates. I'm a language arts teacher at Vigor High School, and this is my ACT story.
Miss Yates, thank you so much for coming in. Share with us your ACT story.
Okay, I learned about the ACT from my mom. She was a counselor, a high school counselor for years, and it wasn't a question of going to high school. I come from a family full of educators, so it was just a question of where I was going to go. So the first time I took the ACT, I was in the 11th grade, and I made a 20 on the ACT. Now, I was going to Jackson State University. My whole family, my mom, my sister, my dad went to Alabama State, and so I didn't want to go there. I wanted to make my own path, and I wanted to be in the sonic boom of the South, so I was going to Jackson State. When I made that 20, I was kind of disappointed because I was only 1 point away from getting a partial scholarship. Right. So I only needed a 21, and then if I made a 24, I could get a full scholarship. So, of course, my mom was like, you are going to take that ACT again. So I took it the first time in the spring of 11th grade year, and then I took it again in the fall of my 12th grade year. I didn't get the full scholarship, but I did get high enough to get that partial scholarship, and I went on to Jackson State.
And here you are today. And thank you so much for coming in to share.
I am LaKasha Robinson. I am the 11th and 12th grade counselor at CF Vigor High School, and this is my ACT story.
Ms. Robinson, share with us your ACT story.
My ACT story begins with receiving different letters from colleges in the mail. Those letters prompted me to start doing some research because I was so excited about the opportunity to go to college. But I quickly realized that I had to also have an ACT score in addition to a good GPA. So that caused me to go speak with my guidance counselor to get some information about what I needed to do. I got some study materials. I started preparing for the ACT because I knew that if I was going to be able to go to the same schools as many of my friends as we were planning, that I would have to have a good ACT score. So from there, I started studying, got into the school of my choice. I decided to go to the University of South Alabama, and from there, I was able to earn 4 degrees from there. So I feel like the ACT certainly was a game changer for me and is a vehicle for any student who wants to be successful after high school.
Ms. Robinson, tell us, how is the ACT relevant today for students?
The ACT is very relevant for all students in grades 9 through 12, primarily because it tells you how you rank compared to other students, not only in your school, in your district, but also nationally. It's a great indicator for letting you know, how will I do in a college setting? If I get into a college classroom, am I going to be able to be successful? That's why they have benchmarks, and we really push that information with our students to make sure they're aware of those benchmarks. In addition, it allows them to know that if they're not successful on that ACT, they may have to take remedial courses, and those remedial courses will not provide college credit for them. In addition, it's relevant because it gives them opportunity to pay for school without having to get money from their parents through scholarships. So it's just a really good equalizer for a lot of students. So it doesn't really look at your high school, your socioeconomic background, your gender. It really looks at your performance on that test.
So as a counselor, how do you motivate students to do well on the ACT?
I speak very honestly with them. I ask them what are their post-secondary goals, and if those goals include going to college, then I tell them that ACT is going to be very, very important to you. And with that, you need to take your intervention time very seriously. You need to make sure that you study on your own. If you have a phone with data, and I know they do, put that question of the day on there, ask questions, do a study prep session, do whatever it takes to get the score that you want to have to go to the college or university of your choice.
Ms. Robinson, one last thing.
Oh, okay.
If you have one piece of advice for students as it relates to the ACT, what would that be?
As it relates to the ACT, I would say that it's very important to take it seriously. You never know what your potential, you never know what potential you have until you try. So I think that with our district offering it free starting in the 11th grade, and then the state providing 2 ACT fee waivers for students who are interested in taking it for free, I think that there are not any limits placed on them for taking it. So if they just take this opportunity seriously, it can certainly be, again, a vehicle for success for them.
Okay, so we've heard from one of our wonderful counselors. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shayna Nunn at Vigor High School, and this is my ACT story. Well, I was a student that did not prepare like I should have, and I waited till the last minute due to the pressure of my family. And I tried to cram the information, and all of a sudden I just decided to just pray. And I woke up the next day and had taken it at Murphy High School and waited for my scores. And when I got the passing score of a 20, I was like, okay, that's what's up. I can go to college. And that's my ACT story.
Ms. Nunn, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gerald Cunningham, principal of Vigor High School, and this is my ACT story.
Okay, Mr. Cunningham, the leader of Vigor High School, tell us your ACT story.
Well, it was during my senior year. We were getting ready for a big football game, and our counselor called all of us to the office, all of us that were seniors. And when you get called to the office, you really think you're in trouble.
Right.
And so Ms. McCants met us in the office, and she asked us had we signed up for the ACT. During that time, we didn't think much of the ACT. We had the graduation exams, CRT that we were worried about during that time, so we were concentrating on that. And so she told us in order for us to play Division I football, we needed to take the ACT. So we signed up for it, still not thinking much about it. And we ended up taking it, well, after it was on a Saturday. Friday night we had played LaFleur, had a great game against LaFleur, and we all met at Bishop State to take the ACT. Well, when the results came back, that was the shocking part. During that time, we only had to have a 14 to play Division I football. Well, when our scores came back, I made a 17. And I was scared because I was wondering how was I going to tell my mom and dad that I made a 17 out of a 100-point test, not knowing that the ACT was not based on a 100-point scale. Well, when Ms. McCants told me I made the highest score and that I was clear, I felt real good about that. But nevertheless, we still didn't think much about it. And now that I see what ACT is about, I recommend that our students take all the studying that they can, all the tutoring that they can to get ready for ACT because this is real.
Okay, so as the leader of Wolfpack Nation, tell me, how do you motivate the students here at Vigor to do well on the ACT?
Well, one thing they need to understand, that this test, if they're planning to go to the next level in college, this test is it's the barrier to where you go. It determines where you go and how much money you receive. My thing is, I would love for my students to be able to go to college and come out with a zero balance. ACT helps you with scholarships. You need as much money because college is so expensive now. You need to do your best on the ACT so you can limit the amount of monies you have to borrow because it's real after school when you have to pay those bills. Right. So I would like for my students to understand, if you don't want to pay a lot of money coming out of college, do your best on the ACT.
Okay, guys, we've heard it from our leader. Mr. Cunningham, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
So I would be remiss not to share my story, my ACT story, with our viewers. I am the second oldest of 4 girls. I am from this community. I'm from Pritchard, Alabama. I come from a family of educators, and so it was never an option not to go to college. Originally, I didn't know much about the ACT because my 11th and 12th grade year, I got out of school a half day. And so when they talked about the ACT, I just took it. But when I got in the 12th grade and my counselor started talking about going to college and the opportunities that I would have to get away, I had to take it seriously. And so the second time I took the ACT, I made a great score. It wasn't enough to get a scholarship, but it was enough to get me a partial scholarship, and it was also enough for me to go to school and get out of my community that I only knew about. So taking the ACT seriously is very important to our students. And while they look at this particular docuseries, I would like for them to try to relate to one of the presenters, relate to one of the people that you see every day, because their story may be similar to the one that I want them to make for themselves. So your ACT score does matter, and we want you to create your own. And again, I hope that this is something that would help our kids, because the ACT is very, very important, not just for them, but also for Vigor High School as a whole. So this is really a great opportunity.